This video was created by VinylicPuma of VinylicPumaGaming. Warning: vulgarity awaits. Hey guys, now I know that we've been talking about a lot of shitty weapons in Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel lately. We recently had the Bad Guns to Fix video, and we've also had the Worst Bandit and Worst Vladof Guns and Weapons videos in relatively close proximity. Now, I usually like to praise Tediore because the reload damage fits well with some of Axton's skills, and because Axton is my favorite character, I'm obviously going to like Tediore. Now, some items like the Fastball, Baby Maker, IVF, and Kanada's Laser are some of the best items in the respective games. However, Tediore does have some exceptionally shitty guns and weapons too. I think a lot of people, including myself, have this weird psychological block to it because some of the guns are so bad. Prepared to be grossed out and mentally scarred because these are the top 6 worst Tediore guns and weapons in Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel, starting now. Number 6. The Snowball. So Borderlands 2 had a grenade mod called the Fastball. Now, the Fastball from Borderlands 2 can be summed up in 2 words. Fucking amazing. Enter the Snowball, which is the pre-sequel's answer to the Fastball from Borderlands 2. Not only are you getting inferior damage with the Snowball, but it can only come in cryo element, where the Fastball could come in several different elements. Now, I guess the developers of the pre-sequel did this because they didn't want something that was far beyond what other grenade mods in the game could do. I mean, in my mind, the Snowball, like the pearlescence in Borderlands 2, suffer from what I like to call balance-itis. And what I mean is, like, during development, it was decided that they didn't want this gun to be too powerful, so they consequently nerfed it slightly, which sort of ended up breaking it. What you ultimately get is something akin to a declawed house cat. It can't defend itself, so it gets hurt in a fight with other cats. For the love of God, if you decide to do the Infinite Loop side quest, please just side with Dan Trap. You get a triple projectile Hyperion laser called the Mining Laser that is a lot better and can actually come in all elements. If you were unlucky like I was to get this grenade, sell this piece of shit. Number 5, the Boxy Gun. So I've mentioned this before in previous videos, but before Borderlands 2 came out, Gearbox was talking about how they were going to implement Tediore weapons in the game, and they were saying that like Tediore weapons were supposed to be unreliable, and they had the potential to explode in your hand while reloading. Now, it is a wonderful thing that pretty much 99.99% of all Tediore weapons from both games don't have the ability to explode in hand. This would have made them extremely frustrating while you're just playing the game. However, unfortunately, they did ultimately implement this idea with the Boxy Gun. When you perform a reload with this weapon, there is a percentage chance that the Boxy Gun will explode in your hand. And let me just say, it's pretty damn high. This is fucking bullshit, by the way. The worst part is that the Boxy Gun seems to explode in your hand the more ammo that you have in the magazine. So unlike every other Tediore from both games, you need to empty as much of the magazine as possible. And then when you do that, the reload is weak as shit. To make matters worse, this gun is a bitch to get as you have to play through the Holodome DLC, which is sorta hard. While it's not one of the later requirements like the Plunket or the Barragan are, it does make you kind of wonder why you should even play Holodome in the first place. Number 4, the Min Min Lighter. God help us. The Min Min Lighter is just another shit stain of a gun from Borderlands the pre-sequel. And you know, from what I can tell, it's an interesting idea in concept, but that doesn't make a good gun that is actually worth using. Now, this gun has literally one of the most ass-backwards projectiles ever. In order to deal damage, it has to pass by enemies, and for a split second, it shocks them, dealing damage over time. Think of it like the Storm 2.0. Even if you shoot this thing's projectile directly into an enemy's face, it won't hurt them. And you know, all of this is made even worse since the Min Min Lighter has ridiculously slow projectile speed and the gun itself has very low fire rate, meaning you might end up firing less than 1 bullet per second. This is terrible when compared to pretty much all of the other guns in both Borderlands 2, the pre-sequel, and I mean fuck, Borderlands 1, which can all fire at least multiple projectiles per second, or that one projectile they fire has like a shit ton of damage. The Min lighter just reeks of ass. If you get the Min lighter, sell this pile of fuck. Number 3, the bunny. Speaking of asses, what a boatload of ass! How is it that the reload on the bunny can be so fucked? How are you even supposed to hit anything with this piece of shit? So if you're unfamiliar with the bunny literally has one of the worst reloads of any Tediore weapon from any Borderlands game. When you hit the reload button, you throw this thing like a normal rocket launcher. However, the gun then proceeds to hop on the ground like a bunny until it hits your target, or more than likely ends up hitting you and killing you. What's worse is that the bunny's standard rocket projectile is more useful than the actual thrown reload. The whole point of Tediore is to throw your gun and have it blow up in the enemy's face. Why isn't the reload damage on this weapon a lot more powerful, especially considering the unpredictable nature of this gun? Man, I really fucking hate the bunny. Hopefully this gun won't appear in Borderlands 3. If it does, what a waste of development time. Number 2, the Retcher. According to the English dictionary, to retch is to vomit. And if you've used the Retcher in Borderlands 2, it should figuratively remind you of the unpleasant human experience that is vomiting up your own food when you get sick. You know what? Seriously, not to gross you guys out, but have you ever vomited and it suddenly started to come out of your nose? Oh, what the fuck, Puma? I didn't want to think of that. What the hell is wrong with you? To give you any idea of what using the Retcher E-Tech shotgun is like, it's a lot like vomiting or barfing up your lunch so severely that it all starts coming out of your nose. The only thing the Retcher has going for it that is actually good is good ammo consumption, because unlike most other E-Tech shotguns, it only consumes 1 ammo per shot. However, literally everything else is horrible. When compared to other E-Tech shotguns, the Retcher has less range, is significantly less accurate, and the reload damage is shit. It's like there was a sick joke among the developers for the Captain Scarlet DLC with the red text, too. Ew? More like... I'm sorry, guys. The Retcher will just make you hate Tediore as a manufacturer. For your sanity and mine, sell this piece of shit. Number 1, the Cradle. So I recently talked about the Cradle and the bad guns to fix, or the more serious guns that need a buff video for both Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel. Now, it's been 4 years since Borderlands 2 launched, and the shield grenade damage on the Cradle is still abysmal. You know, seriously, of all of the patches we've had to address things like the Evil Smasher glitch, to disable weapon merging, or to nerf guns and items like the Probe and Rosie from Borderlands the pre-sequel, and the B-Shield from Borderlands 2, why wasn't any of that time spent addressing the problems with the Cradle? And you know, the concept for this shield isn't necessarily bad. Your shield depletes, and it deploys a copy of itself as a grenade to deal damage to enemies. It would have actually been pretty sick if the Cradle got the same treatment that the Fastball did, where its damage was increased significantly. It might actually make the Cradle worth using, dare I say. However, at this time, the Cradle's depleted shield grenade definitely makes it the worst gun, weapon, or item from Tediore in Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel. And you know, we could probably even include Borderlands 1, and it might even be worse than some of the items from Borderlands 1. Now, I know I rip on your guns, Gearbox, but if you do decide to do another patch for Borderlands 2 and the pre-sequel, please fix the Cradle. I mean, it's literally been 4 years overdue. Anyway, guys, that's going to pretty much wrap up this particular video. If you like this video, please be sure to leave a like, and as always, take care, and I'll see y'all next time.